Alright, so let's take a look at lambda expressions. Um, Now, the first thing we do, we're going to take a look at some single expressions. Now, lambdas are essentially the same thing as delegates, but they're all written in line. Okay, so we do the same thing where we declare a delegate, so public delegate, and then int my delegate, and int x. So it's passing in an argument of x. Now, in my main method here, what I can do is I can create a new delegate. So let's say my delegate, and notice that it's of this type, right? And it's of the type of that method. And so I can call that D1 for delegate 1. And I can make that equal to, and we'll just pass in that one expression, right? So here's x. And with lambdas, they're usually, they consist of the equal sign and the angle bracket. So like this. So you can read this arrow operator as such that, or goes to. Now say we want to square the results of x times x, which is being passed in, right? So we just do x times x. And then what we want to do is just simply do a console dot write line that will write it to the console. Let's make sure these are the same. Now what this does is this places the um, variable, which we're going to do, which is D1, into this slot into our line. So if you're wondering what this means, okay. Now we're going to grab x from here, and this resulting x, yeah, this resulting else x would be the value that we're going to pass in. So let's say 10. Alright, so we got our semicolon there. Alright, let's run that and see what happens. And I'm going to pause that. That went way too fast because let's do our console.readline here. There we go. And you can see here the result is 100. Alright, let's close this out. Now let's take a look at creating a statement lambda. So I'm just going to hit Control D on this, and I'm going to write 2 here, and I'm going to make a string variable, and I'm going to name this prefix, and then we have int x here. I'm also going to change the type here to void because I have passing in two different types of arguments here. So let's go ahead and take a look here at creating our statement lambda. And we know it's statement lambda because its contents are enclosed in a curly brace. So let's go ahead and write that in here. So I'm just going to, let's see, and we want to give this, yeah. So my delegate 2, and I'll just call this S1 for statement lambda, right? And this equals the two arguments that we're going to pass in. So y and x, right? So that's our string and our int. And then we're going to say goes to, and then the curly braces, that's what signifies the statement lambda. And then I'm just going to print that out to the screen. So let's copy these. And within that, I'm just going to say the two arguments two args are 0, and we'll do comma 1, and now with this 2 expression lambda here, you actually have to call it like it's a method. So I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to paste this in, and then inside of this I can pass in the value. Now if I highlight over here, you can see it has a local variable for my delegate 2, and we want to pass in, remember we have a y and an x here, and the first one is a string, so we can say our string there and then a number 10, and then lambda s1, save that, and then just run it, and the result is 100. Let's go ahead and let's try that again. Let's get rid of this read line though, and let's put it, well, we'll just have it run through. So let's press play again. Oh, so I never passed in the 2 values that we're doing here. And so you can see here we need to do that. So the result is 10 is 100 because we ran that first one, and then it stops here, but we need to pass in the values of those. So 0, remember our first option is the string here. So what I'm going to do here is just comma, and then our y value, which is being passed in, I want to place that here, and then whatever numerical value, right, which is just our x value. So just put that on there, and now when we run it, you see we get the 2 arguments, which is lambda s1, which is being passed in here, and 10, which is being passed in there.